Nick Tetagleone was, at one point, Jeffrey Epstein's cellmate and the last person to ever see him alive that we know of. There was a conspiracy theorist with a public access show where he ranted about crazy crackpot theories every single day and nobody took him seriously, but then after he died, it turned out he was right about everything. In the late 80s and throughout the 1990s, there was a man named Tiffany who had a public access TV show called Dirge of the Charlatans, where he would sit for hours on end and just rant and ramble about all kinds of conspiracy theories about elite government corruption within the city. He would talk about judges laundering money through nonprofits and NYPD officers falsifying crimes to throw people in jail and members of the NYPD acting as roving gangs and enforcers for the mob.
Linda, about following Bill Reynolds and harassing. So when Linda Mangano said regarding Sergeant Greenan, he should drop dead, I once again say Sergeant Greenan should pay close attention.
But then something happened to Tiffany. In March of 1997, he was pulled over by an NYPD officer named Nick Tetagleone, who said that he had seen Tiffany's show and wanted him to stop talking about the NYPD and that he was connected to the mob, and if he didn't shut up, he would have him taken care of. Or at least this is what Tiffany claimed the following day on his show, where he talked about the incident. And as Tiffany claims, the next day after this broadcast, Nick Tetagleone showed up at his house, threw him against his police cruiser, arrested him, and brought him in on some made-up disturbing the peace charge. But Tiffany was not going to be bullied, and he would not give up. So the next several years on his show, he did a full investigation of Nick Tetagleone, sending in a bunch of requests with the Freedom of Information Act to the government to get documents about him. And he dug up a ton of dirt, like multiple police brutality reports, a bunch of excessive force complaints, and unexplained departures from dozens of his previous police jobs. And in response, Tiffany claims that he was attacked and brutalized by Nick Tetagleone and his cop buddies multiple times throughout those years. The first incident, he was attacked outside of his home again. The second incident, he was thrown to the pavement and beaten outside of a town meeting. And the third incident, he was beaten so badly that he was hospitalized for weeks.
Now let's go back to what I look like after Nick Tetagleone, whom Linda Mangano has on at least 2 occasions now asked the Ossining Village Board to give Nick Tetagleone a humanitarian award. Can my man in the other room put up the video, where the same video that you had on before? I had it stopped. And can you put on, my man in the other room, the video of what I look like after the Nick Tetagleone beat me up the 4th time? All right, see that? See that? And I have pictures taken by the FBI that are worse.
Tiffany ended up suing Nick Tetagleone. He didn't win, but there was an undisclosed sum settled out of court.
Are there any other reporters besides 12? Are you a reporter? Which paper? Are you Stacy? Oh, hi. Tetagleone. And I'm moving back because the last time he almost killed me. Is there a reporter here with the camera guy from 12?
Why?
You might want to talk to the guy that Tetagleone almost killed twice. That's me. I can give you some...
That's purely your allegation, though. I can't go on.
What?
Purely your allegation.
What do you mean purely my allegations? It's enough to have the FBI investigating them.
I can't talk to you.
You can't talk to me?
Not right now. You're rolling the camera. How are you going to use all that against me?
You got your camera on me, pal. I'm not afraid of people cameraing me, taping me. You want me to turn off the camera? I will. Is that what you mean? Think about it. Briarcliff didn't put him up on charges for assaulting and trying to kill me twice. Plus he beat me up 2 other times. And there's about 10 or 11 victims in Paulding, New York, according to Ken Lynch. You interested? And Briarcliff protected him. Is that his father? Well, I'd like to know how he was brought up. You got to beat because you deserved it. Did you hear that? Was that a Briarcliff cop? Yeah, here it is. Wait, I'll get the guy. They don't even have to hide it in Briarcliff. It's Klan country.
But more importantly, he had lost any credibility that he ever possibly had because of these repeat accusations of Nick Tetagleone, and people started actively calling for his public access show to end. So in the early 2000s, that's exactly what happened. The show ended and Clay Tiffany disappeared from public life. And in 2015, he died from heart failure. But in 2016, Nick Tetagleone was arrested for the execution-style murder of 4 men in a drug trafficking job gone wrong. Clay Tiffany was right. Nick Tetagleone was mob connected, he was corrupt, and him and his buddies were running as enforcers for the mob within the NYPD. And what's even crazier is that Nick Tetagleone was, at one point, Jeffrey Epstein's cellmate and the last person to ever see him alive that we know.